usually associate the plains of North India with citrus. Somehow globally one associates Mediterranean climates, California, Mexico with citrus plantations, and in India we sort of associate citrus more with Sikkim and Nagpur and such places. But here, right here in Delhi, we have an excellent cultivation of oranges, which is remarkable because oranges don't typically grow in North India so well. And we're not talking the Kino, which does very well in parts of Punjab, but this is the actual orange. So it's quite remarkable that we have such a successful and prolific harvest of actual oranges right here in Delhi, of a good size and high sweetness as well. So it's orange harvest day today. So a single orange tree here provides tens of kilos of high quality fruit, debunking any notions that North India is too hot and drier climate for oranges. When you talk of oranges in California or Florida, you have just as good oranges here in the extreme heat of North India as well. Despite the extreme heat, we have a pretty good harvest here in North India. And this is early winter. This is early winter when all the citrus gets harvested. It's actually middle of winter. It's almost peak winter now. I'm cutting off the oranges just a ½ inch above, so we don't break, you don't sort of puncture the fruit itself, but break it off the stem. And this just sort of defies every notion that North India is too hot for growing citrus such as oranges. The fruit is absolutely ripe. In fact, the orange itself is now separating from the skin, which is just perfect for consumption. It's at the right phase for harvesting. I'm getting a lovely, delicious citrusiness coming from the leaves and the fruit and my hands now. And very soon these same orange trees will have blossom on them, very fragrant springtime blossom, in time for the next season's crop. So a single tree here like this can give multiple harvests through the season as more and more oranges keep getting ready. That's for the oranges. Now we can go and look at what other citrus we've got ripening here. This is the other citrus which we grow here in Delhi, and this is the red blood grapefruit. And since it's very high, about 15-20 feet up in the tree, I'm going to use this fruit picker net to get some of these ripe red blood grapefruit down. Take the net to right under the fruit that I've identified and cup the fruit in there, and then hook the fruit with the blade cutter just above it. And I gently tug so I don't damage the tree or the fruit, and just snap just the fruit which comes into the net neatly. Okay, now I've identified the next one here. So I'm going to get the net gently below the fruit, and cup the fruit in there, and gently tug at the fruit with the blade at the stem of the fruit, and it just neatly falls in there. Likewise for the next, and neatly got that in there too. So it's a neat little process without damaging the fruit, without having to climb the tree and further damage the fruit. You've got to sort of avoid the thorns as one sort of tries to place the net. That's the grapefruit in the net there. I'm going to neatly place that there. Idea is that the fruit shouldn't get damaged, so we're going to just pull that out neatly. And it's a lovely orange yellow coloration with a very lovely tart citrusiness, and these are ready to consume right off the tree, of oranges and red grapefruit. So this is the third citrus that we grow here in Delhi. It's a much thicker rind but much sweeter citrus as well. It's called Malta. So the Malta has a thicker rind and very yellow in color, and it got a greater sweetness to it than the tarty sweetness of the Kino. Let me see if any fall naturally. None are falling naturally. So I'm just going to pluck a few of these depending on what seems to look ripe. So this is the Malta. It's more of a homegrown Indian variety of citrus. So that's the Malta, and now we will move to a tree which is of the Kino. So this is the fourth of the citrus triumvirate we are harvesting today, the Kino. Now the Kino comes in very large prolific groupings and is easy to grow in North India, areas around Punjab and Rajasthan where Kino grows prolifically. So you can see large bunches of them, and it's very orangey yellow, soft to the touch, and very tart, sweet, sour, and perfect for juice and eating as is. So that's the Kino, which is a hybrid very popularly grown in India. And especially large plantations of this and large farmers, large holdings of Kino growing around Ganganagar in Rajasthan and large parts of Punjab as well. So this very strange citrus, this enormous citrus with a fabulous harvest of 500 kilos a year, is what we colloquially call in India the khatta. Now it's not a separate kind of citrus as such, but it's the basic wild rootstock of the orange tree. So if an orange tree goes wild, this enormous fruit, with each one weighing almost a kilo, is what one ends up with. So this is the khatta tree with its enormous fruit growing. I don't know how the tree supports such a huge amount of fruit on its stems, but that right there is the khatta. It's got a very thick rind but fabulous tarts, not sweetness, tart sourness. So you can use it for lemonade, the nibu pani. You can make an achar out of it, or you can use it as an iced tea, or you can use it for any other number of citrusinesses, including in cooking. So this is the khatta. It's a fabulous wild citrus, and this single tree here gives something like 500 kilos, so half a ton of harvest in a year, which is an enormous amount of fruit for a single tree like this. And as the tree, as the fruit ripens, the citrus is also falling off it. So that's what you call in India the tapke ka. It's actually literally fallen off the tree of its own accord when it's ripe and the weight is too much for the stem to hold on to it. So this is the khatta. Fabulous blossoms when this flowers in spring. The sunbirds love it, purple sunbirds, the bees love it, moths love it. So it's a great tree because it benefits birds. We have a lot of barbets and tree pies eating off the fruit, and the butterflies enjoy it in spring. Human beings enjoy it through the year. So it's a perfect tree. You know, trees just give so much and they take so little. All it asks for is a little bit of space on this earth and a bit of sunshine and a little bit of water, and it just gives all through the year, including oxygen. So trees are just such givers and human beings are just such takers. But it's a good equation in this case because we allow it to grow and we perpetuate its kind, we grow more such trees, and so everyone's happy. So trees are and can and should be a good give and take with human beings. You look after them and they look after you. So as part of today's harvest, I first collected oranges, then went on to the Malta. That's the Malta, and that's the Malta tree growing right here. Then I moved on to the red blood grapefruit, then the Kino. Now this is our yellow grapefruit. So what you see here is the yellow grapefruit, which ripens up nicely and it's perfect for eating raw or juiced. So that's the yellow grapefruit. These have just fallen off the tree but they get much larger, so I'm not going to harvest them just yet. What has fallen off the tree we collect, because those are ripe to eat, because the tree has decided to jettison them. But the yellow grapefruit will get twice as large in about a month's time, and that's when we're going to pluck them. These are the ones that fell off.